What if I told you that right now, someone close to you is planning to lie to you today? And here's the scary part. You probably won't even notice. Most people get lied to 200 times every single day without knowing it. But what if you could flip the script? What if you could become like a human lie detector and catch every single lie before you get fooled? Here's what nobody tells you about lying. It's not just about catching bad people. Your best friend might lie about where they went last night. Your family might lie about eating your leftovers. Even your boss might lie about why your project got rejected. The truth is, everyone lies, and if you can't spot it, you're living in a world of fake stories. But here's the good news. Secret agents and detectives have been using hidden tricks to catch liars for years, and today I'm going to teach you their most powerful secrets. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly when someone is lying to you, even before they finish talking. Let's start with the magic question trick. Most people ask terrible questions that make lying super easy, like asking, "Did you have fun last night?" That's way too simple to lie about. But here's what smart detectives do instead. They ask questions that make liars sweat. Instead of, "Did you go out last night?" try this. "What made you stay out so late last night?" See the difference? You're not asking if they went out, you're assuming they did and stayed late. Now they have to either tell the truth or make up a whole story. And making up stories is where liars always mess up. But wait, there's a twist coming that'll blow your mind. This next trick is called the 5-second rule, and it's like having superpowers. When you ask someone a question, watch them like a hawk for exactly 5 seconds. Not 6, not 4, exactly 5 seconds. Why? Because that's when their brain is fighting the hardest. After 5 seconds, they've had time to think of a good lie. But in those first 5 seconds, their body tells the truth, even when their mouth doesn't. Look for these signs. They touch their face, look away, pause too long, or their voice gets weird. One sign means nothing. But if you see 2 or more signs in those 5 seconds, boom, you've caught them. And here's the crazy part. This works even on people who think they're good liars. But the next trick is even more powerful. This one's called the baseline trick, and it's what FBI agents use. Before you ask any tricky questions, watch how the person acts normally. Notice their voice, how they sit, how they move their hands. This is their normal mode. Once you know how they act when they're relaxed, you can spot when something changes. If someone who usually looks you in the eye suddenly stares at the floor, that's a red flag. If someone who talks fast suddenly talks slow, something's up. It's like having a secret code that only you can read. But here's where it gets really sneaky. The double-check trap is genius. Ask about the same thing twice, but in different ways. First ask, "You went to the movies yesterday, right?" Then, 10 minutes later, ask, "What movie did you see yesterday?" Liars forget what they said the first time. They might say, "Yes, I went to the movies," and then later say, "I didn't see any movie." Boom, caught. Truth tellers stay consistent because they're remembering real events. Liars are remembering fake stories, and fake stories are hard to keep straight. But wait until you see this next trick. It's almost like magic. Here's the word trick that catches almost everyone. When people lie, they use wishy-washy words like maybe, I think, probably, or I guess. They do this because they're scared of getting caught in a firm lie. Instead of saying, "I was at home," they say, "I think I was probably at home." See how weak that sounds? They're giving themselves an escape route. Pay attention to these weak words, especially when someone's telling you something important. If they can't say it with confidence, maybe they're not telling the truth. The topic switch trick is my favorite. When someone's lying and you're getting close to the truth, they'll suddenly try to change the subject. They might say something like, "Hey, did you see that funny video?" Or, "Oh, I forgot to tell you about." This is their brain's panic button. They're trying to run away from the conversation because they're scared you'll figure out the lie. When this happens, gently bring them back to the original topic. Say something like, "We can talk about that later, but first, tell me more about..." Watch how uncomfortable they get. Here's the interrupt trick that's almost unfair. Right when someone's in the middle of telling their story, interrupt them with a random question about something that happened before their story. Like if they're saying, "So I went to the store and bought milk," you jump in with, "Wait, what were you doing right before you decided to go to the store?" This messes up their brain because lying takes a lot of thinking. When you interrupt, you force them to juggle two things at once, their fake story and your new question. Most liars can't handle this and either get confused or start telling a completely different story. The last trick is the fake detail trap. Slip a wrong detail into the conversation and see what happens. Like saying you said it was raining that day, but even though they never mentioned rain. Someone telling the truth will correct you immediately. No, it wasn't raining. But liars often go along with your fake detail because they're afraid that correcting you will make their whole story fall apart. There you have it, 7 powerful ways to catch anyone in a lie. Remember, combine these tricks with your gut feeling. If something feels off, it probably is. Try these out and let me know in the comments which one worked best for you. And if this video helped you catch someone in a lie, smash that like button and subscribe for more secrets like this. See you next time.